What we do in the first hour of our day can either increase our motivation and drive or destroy it. And this is where you really need to take a long, hard look at your morning. Are you plugging into digital inputs, setting your mind immediately into an addictive dopamine-seeking cycle, or are you using this time of the day to focus on outputs? Activities that actively improve your mental health, motivation, and quality of life. There's a good chance that you may be on the side that the majority of the world is on, so in this video, we're going to run through why this is a problem, along with providing you a solution to help increase your motivation and drive to level up your life. Welcome, warriors! This is your self-development coach John here, and this channel is all about providing you with the knowledge and tools that, if you apply, will accelerate you on this journey towards becoming your next level self. A journey where you can make such huge progress with such a small shift to your morning habits. According to psychologist and behavior change expert Ron Friedman, the first 3 hours of your day are the most precious for maximized productivity. The morning is the most powerful and effective time for our outputs, whether they be creative or not, that shape our confidence and build the motivation that we experience in life. What do the majority of people do instead? We go right into morning inputs. Checking our smartphone notifications, news feeds, emails, media, which not only feed this cycle, but negatively impact our confidence and motivation. And the thing is that this isn't even the worst part. The bigger problem is that we intuitively know this is bad for us, which actually creates an internal conflict. If you know what I'm talking about, then type truth in the comments. Internal conflicts, while we may not give them much attention, are doing serious harm to us psychologically. You see, it reinforces to us in our mind that we are incapable, that we have low willpower, which further drive down our motivation to even try to change, resulting in further degrading our confidence levels. Now, it may not be super apparent, but it sits in the depths of our minds. It's like having a goal that's really important to you, such as quitting smoking, and every time you light another one up, the conflict comes up and you push it down deeper, trying to ignore it. The damage to your confidence, to your belief in your abilities, is taking a big hit. Now, of course, I need you to remember that you're not alone in this. We all have internal conflicts going on and challenges with change, myself included. I mean, if everything was easy, well, you fill in the blanks. The point I'm getting at here is that with one single tiny shift of a habit, you can create monumental change in your life. You can shift your morning's focus from autopilot inputs coming from digital distractions to high quality outputs when your brain is the most primed for it. When your brain's creative ability, its creative potential, is at its peak for the day.
So what do I need to do?
First and foremost, protect your mornings. Nearly 80% of people check their smartphones within 15 minutes of waking up, and over 60% of that same population check their smartphone right when they wake up. The information inputs from your phone are not only training your mind for this easily accessible dopamine addiction, but also training your mind to be more reactive instead of responsive, reducing your attention spans, concentration abilities, impacting anxiety, and so on. You're not allowing for your brain to maintain the morning's natural alpha wave state, and instead jump-starting the higher frequency, easily agitated, less focused beta wave state that we spend the majority of our days in. Needless to say, your morning time should be spent on outputs, not inputs. Keep your phone set on airplane mode the night before so there isn't the chance of getting sidetracked from notifications when you shut off your alarm in the morning. This goes for everyone, even if you don't use your phone as your morning alarm. If you want to succeed at this, you can't rely on the willpower to break this habit. You'll be setting yourself up for failure right from the start. As Stanford behavior scientist, one of the leading habit researchers in the world says, design beats willpower. Anything you intentionally design to make it more difficult to do the thing that you want to stop doing and easier to do the habit that you want to implement, the far easier your chances are of implementing real change. But I digress. Getting back to morning inputs versus outputs, I know people are going to ask, what do we do instead? And before I get into my suggestions, ask yourself the question, what have I been putting off that I really want to start doing in my life? If you've had any dreams that you've either put on the back burner or completely gave up on, this is that time to use your morning heightened creativity for it. The time to take the daily 1% actions that lead to massive results over time. You could make a short list of what these things are to help you get clear on it and bring your dream back to life. But regardless if you do this or not, I highly suggest that you start a 5-minute daily journaling session. Whether you want to write about your challenges, gratitudes, changes that you're making, goals you're working towards, clarity that you need, this form of output, especially written by hand, will work wonders for you on so many levels. So keep the journaling session short and focused. Jot down a few bullet points if you don't want to make sentences. Over time, getting clear on the steps you need to take to possibly bring this dream into life. And it doesn't even take that much, just 5 to 10 minutes daily. Now, I'm sure at this point the gears in your head are turning, so I want to ask you, what other ideas do you have for morning outputs? Maybe these are things you're already doing that help you out so much in life. Make sure to share it with us in the comments. Now, before I share an important environment design tip to make this an easier habit to succeed in, some other outputs that you can add in here to your morning routine instead of digital inputs are a 5-minute mindfulness practice, visualizations, gratitudes, going for a short walk. It could be a short yoga or stretching session. Again, if you have any others that I'm not mentioning here, make sure to drop them into the comments to expand on this list for everyone. As mentioned before, you don't want to rely on willpower because willpower is finite. We have a limit of it. Our habits are stronger than it, along with the emotional swings that we experience. And this is made clear as ever in Benjamin Franklin's famous quote, "If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail." So set this up the night before. Make sure your phone is set to airplane mode before you go to bed. Place it away from your bed, ideally across the room or in another room with your alarm clock volume cranked up. Then clear a writing space for yourself that has a journal, notebook, or another piece of paper and a pen ready for you. You can even pre-write out some prompts for yourself to make it that much easier for you in the morning. Do you love to hydrate in the morning, or do you rarely drink enough water? If not, then environment design to the rescue. Have a giant glass of water next to your alarm. You get the point here. The next morning, there's no need to think about it. You've already made the decision the night before. You might only need to use a little sprinkle of willpower to keep you on track. So once you rise, shut off your alarm. Hydrate, take care of your washroom necessities, and then sit with your journal for 5 minutes. Jot down what's on your mind, what you're grateful for, what you're looking forward to, what annoys you, anything. Now feel free to habit stack here, but make them very simple, short and quick so that they don't feel like something you have to do, but something that you get to do. Ultimately, you'll have to design this for what makes more sense to you. Maybe you have certain obligations that need you to check at least your text messages in case of any emergencies. Again, in this case, you can use intelligent environment design for your desired result. You can use app blockers that prevent email, social media, and other notifications from showing up for certain times of the morning. All it takes is a little bit of thought and design once to create an environment that moves you forwards towards your future self faster instead of falling to your past autopilot consumption patterns. So remember, this is a time for you. A time you can gift yourself on a daily basis for the rest of your life. A time to tune into yourself and what matters to you instead of tuning into other people's agendas. The biggest purpose here is to break the habit of repeating the past, to rebuild your confidence and motivation to act on what really matters to you in life. This puts you directly into a position where you are intentionally growing towards your next level self, consciously creating your future via writing a new script regardless of what your past experiences are. This is the real power and purpose of a solid morning routine, something you can mold to fit the growing needs of the future self that you're moving towards. And all it starts is with a single action that you can take today to prepare for tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, I hereby challenge you to 5 straight days of keeping your phone on airplane mode for the first 1 hour of the day. Just an hour. And if you're taking this on, type "I'm in" down in the comments. And make sure to check out the following video here that goes deeper into the power of morning routines and designing the ultimate one for you. It's time to get into a peak state every morning to live your next level life now, to move forward on that change that you've been really needing, so make sure to check it out. Drop me a like if you appreciated this video, make sure to share it, and never stop growing, warriors.